Each year, the center selects fellows from a broad range of disciplines and backgrounds, such as law, journalism, higher education, technology, and government. Fellows receive funding to further the national conversation related to expression and democratic participation on college campuses. Their projects have a direct impact on individuals and communities across campus and are focused on enhancing our understanding of how free speech is and can be practiced in American higher education, as well as how to foster civic engagement in university life. Our fourth class is a remarkable group of individuals whose research focuses on challenging issues such as the roles of campus whistleblowers and bias response teams, pornography and free speech, as well as censorship in humanities curricula and academic museums and galleries. We are excited to present their work to you early this summer, followed by a series of interactive Fellows in the Field digital workshops. In the meantime, let's hear from them about their projects and why these issues are so important to their scholarship.
This is a time like none other, certainly in my lifetime, when we have so much attention on campus speech.
In my project, I'm investigating the moral dilemmas that humanities faculty face when developing their courses and curricula. What thinkers and what work should we as teachers assign? What do we do about, the racist elements in Kant or the anti-Semitism in Chaucer? These are tough questions. And the goal of my project is to sort of spell out the moral issues that are often in play with these canonical thinkers and works. And my hope is that we as faculty can make more informed decisions about who we teach, what we teach, and how we go about teaching it.
I have been interviewing decision makers in academic art museums and galleries, and I'm asking them what makes their job challenging, especially if they want to have conversations that are difficult to have. What are the factors in their work that are complicated and complex and difficult that needs to be in place for artists, art students, faculty members, guest curators, and campus museum staff to feel like they can really do the work that they want to do.
My Fellows project is looking at the history of campus controversies over pornography and sexual speech. And over the past handful of decades, there have been a number of situations in which professors and invited guest lecturers to campus have caused quite an uproar when their courses or their lectures deal with the topic of pornography or sex media broadly defined. So part of my project is really thinking through what are some productive responses that can ensure and protect free speech and at the same time respond robustly to critics when they're voicing their complaints.
My project explores how historically Black colleges and universities have supported or provided opportunities for voice and engagement through civic participation, more specifically electoral engagement during the general election of 2020. And I really am curious about how historically Black colleges, how they were navigating this online virtual space or this in-person space, given so much that was going on during the time, and how that may, and how their actions may relate to their past, but then also what types of lessons can we learn going toward the future about how we can nurture safe spaces for student voice and student articulations of political views on historically Black college and university campuses. And many of the students on my campus recognize opportunities to get involved and to encourage other students to get involved.
The UC system is a beacon of light for sort of notions around sort of building civic identity and democracy. How are we actually exploring those values? How are we teaching those values? What kind of conversations are we having about that? And are there ways in which we can improve upon those dialogues? And so I really have wanted to do a project that explores this question of sort of these classes that we have that are sort of building sort of students' civic identity and identity around sort of being social change agents, and really explore sort of the ways in which we talk about, understand, explore race, racism, and anti-Blackness. And so the project is looking throughout the UC and looking at a number of courses in their curriculums and in their pedagogies to understand from an instructor perspective, but also from a student perspective, what's being learned, how are we reframing narratives, and where are there gaps?
Prior to becoming a faculty member, I was a student affairs practitioner at several universities, and I actually had the opportunity to lead a bias response team on one campus. And I experienced firsthand the tensions that teams and institutions faced in doing this work of trying to create that inclusive and equitable campus environment while simultaneously respecting and protecting free speech rights. And I'm really studying how universities respond to bias on campus and how they simultaneously navigate both free speech protections and creating an inclusive campus environment.
There are government agencies of all kinds, including public universities, that gag people from speaking publicly. I am looking at it, I'm using the California higher ed system as sort of a proxy for the country, a little microcosm of the country, looking at first, what are the free speech rights of people who work in the public sector, who work in government? And then second, how do the policies that are in place at these institutions measure up to what the courts have told us that the First Amendment or state law protects? Are these policies giving people the benefit of all of the freedoms that the law says they should have, or are they leading people to believe that they're going to get in trouble if they speak particularly to the news media without getting somebody's permission?
So one of the things I actually really liked about the center was that so many of the fellows seem to be straddling that difficult line between theory and practice, right? Between basic research and scholarship, and then doing things that actually really try to affect change, either on college campuses or beyond. And the project that I'm working on, it is a project about doing something. I have been, for the past few years, working with a collection of people across a set of different campuses, and we have been working to develop what we call the Intercollegiate Civil Disagreement Partnership. And we bring together fellows from each of our universities to learn how to facilitate conversations across political difference.
The fight for freedom of speech, the fight for freedom of expression have long been under attack, have long been debated, have long been the center of public discourse. But what has remained the same is that we've had a community of people fighting for the right for those civil liberties to exist. And I think that like a part of this center is, sort of creating a community of folks to sort of fight for those civil liberties, whether that be in their sort of scholarship or whether that be in sort of their practices in their community.
When I saw that there was a higher ed institution that was actually wrapping their arms around free speech and civic engagement front and center and saying, we believe that colleges should walk the walk and not just talk the talk, I really wanted to be part of that.
To learn more about the center and the work of our fellows, visit us at freespeechcenter.universityofcalifornia.edu.